Today we're gonna talk about VS. There is definitely a lot to talk about VS. VS is entirely a different separate topic, and there is a lot of maths, a lot of physics that goes under the VS. But one word before even it's just a first video, VIA 101 or something. I want to make a separate video where I'm gonna just talk about what the heck is VIA is and how you can calculate a lot of different fun stuff with the VS. And let me tell you something, that VIA is a great person and is also an evil person as well. So it kind of depends on how you're using him. If you give VS too many opportunities to integrate your signal, VIA will cause you a very great amount of signal integrity. So definitely make sure that you're using VS for the right reason. Recently I've been simulating one of my VS with the traces, so in my keyside areas, and was looking into some of the great waveforms of S21 parameters, and definitely was looking into the insertion loss, and it just impressive like how a VS can affect your signal, and definitely one of the video I might talk about it. But today's not anything about it. Today's all about Altium, okay? We're gonna make a first video of the Altium and going over a little overview, and at the same time teaching you some of the shortcuts. So yeah, very much exciting, right? Very much exciting. Usually, in a regular way, when I first started learning about Altium, let's just get rid of this thing. When I first learned about Altium, like how to use Altium, I used to use like coming to this top place, like top, I don't know what they call it, toolbar or something, and clicking on this place, the VIA or something, whatever, and then just dropping it to it. And it used to give me like around, well, like 50 or something. Come on, just open the properties. Okay, F11, let's do it this way. So it just to give me like 50 mil diameter and then whole size of 28 mil as a whole size. And even if you like declare some of the rules, some of the like VIA definitions, some of the design rules into your Altium project or something, it don't need to even care about it. Like it still just give you like 50 mils of diameter, which you like don't need, and whole size of 28 mils, which you don't need, especially for this project. This 50 mils is stupid VIA, to be honest. It's just super gigantic, at least for me right now. It depends still. It kind of still depends, but for me, I don't really need 50 mils and 28 mils of stuff. And the reason you see that Altium is freaking out is because of the design rules. I said 25 mils as my diameter and 50 mils is my whole size, so Altium is like freaking out about it. But we're gonna talk about it. But always make sure you know what's your manufacturer capabilities. Okay. The reason is every manufacturer is different. You might see a lot of manufacturers doing very small amount of VIA drilling or something, but some of them don't. Well, for example, this one is GLC PCB. So if you're using GLC PCB for manufacturing your board, definitely take care of this part, right? Mean VIA hole and size and diameter, and say some of the cool part. And if you use mils, just convert the millimeter to mils. You'll be good, brother. In the same way, look into the rest of the other stuff for the capabilities of the GLC PCBs, and make sure you know about it. And make sure you know about your manufacturer. As people say, is that every night you call your girlfriend, every morning you call your girlfriend, but when you're in work, you gotta call your manufacturer. So always remember this rule. Whatsoever. Let's just get rid of this. This is the old-fashioned way, right? And before you even start putting VS on here, you gotta first make sure that you have a design rule about it. But before you go into the design rule, let's look into a VIA as an overview. So this is a cool, crazy looking VIA without any kind of design rules applied to it. And on the VIA section, you definitely see a part where it talks about that you can assign it to a NAT, you can assign to another, you can assign to a 5-bolt. I have a 4-layer board, you can assign to like something, whatever you want to do it. Most of the time is basically signals or 5-bolt or ground. And then oh sorry, I was burping. Then you can see as a name, true hole VIA 124, right? They are pretty self-explanatory. But I kind of like this NAT information where it talks about your max current, it talks about your resistance, and as your VIA diameter and hole size big, the current capabilities will be also bigger as well. We'll be talking about it in one video one day where I'm gonna show you that how you can calculate the resistance, the stuff, inductance, stuff like that. Maybe, hopefully, not right now. I have a lot of things to do. So let's go back to here. You have a diameter, then on the section of the VS stack, you can define your VS stack based on your requirement, and then you have some other as well. This is kind of like an overview right now. We're going to talk about thermal relief in the next video, but this is very helpful if you want to get rid of some kind of thermal stuff or thermal issues, whatever it is. And then you can define tolerance. Next video we're going to talk about it. This is not a 50 minutes of VIA video. It's going to be like around 10 to 20 minutes of VIA video. Then you can do a solder mask expansion. By default, Altium set is a 4 mils, which is this, like the purple shape. If you go to the manual, if you do, for example, I just want to show you what it looks like. 6 mil, you're gonna see like expanded. The solder mask is expanded very much, right? Then you can do tinted, and you can do untinted as well. We're gonna talk about it one day. And some of the little nitty things like from hole age, stuff like that, we're gonna talk about it one day. And then you have different kind of VS definition from the IPC 4761. We can define them if you really need it. And on the other video, as I'm mentioning, we're gonna talk about test point. But today is not a video about all of this thing. I think I need to dedicate a video about it. Today is all about like rule definitions and how you can define rules, some VS stack up, and then how some of the shortcuts. That's very helpful. So we're gonna talk about VIA 101. Okay. Let's go to design, and let's go to design rules. And always make sure you have some kind of design rule set up here, right? For me right now, VIA diameter is 25 mils, which you can see the outer and the whole size is 15 mils. GLC PCB technically can go up to 8 mils, and this one is probably 22 mils, probably with fear number or something, whatever. But I just choose this because I don't think I need that small VS even. And sometimes if you are using like a micro VIA or something, that time they cost a lot of money if you want to go to the manufacturing world. By the way, there's a lot of things you can play around, but the constraint is kind of important. Sometimes you can just place a VIA based on your template preferred and min or max preferred. I'll just go with min and max preferred. And there's a one important button called test queries, so it just tells you how many VS are there which are following this thing. So that's most of the time is very important when you have like 10 different VS for 10 different definition. Like for example, this is basically for all. So for all of them, I'm going with this definition, right? So I have a minimum of 25 mils. I have VIA whole size is 15 mils. But I can go for example, my NAND class, like 5 volt, okay? Anything I'm connected to my 5 volt, I can have a different definition for my VS, right? And then if I do click on the test queries, it's gonna show me okay, how many I have, or how many has been taken into account based on the rules, based on the definitions or design rules, stuff like that. And then you can just like basically highlight your stuff based on like you can do dim, you can do normal. It's gonna just highlight all of those VS. All of these VS that's following specific rules based on the definition. So right now I only have one. Right? So I don't really care a lot because I only have one. But I can create a different one, like creating new rules and then going to here. And I can just give a name like VIA in my face, something. And then you can just define it to like a net class of 5 volts, for example. And now then I can change some of the rules as I want. And if I have place some VS around, then definitely it's gonna highlight me. But I'm just gonna delete this rule. I don't really need it. Okay. So this is one part of it. But the question is, bro. Every time I click on the place VIA, why is what? Wait. So this time it did. Okay. Every time I click on this, why it gives me this gigantic 50 mils, 28 mils VIA and the whole size stuff, even though I changed the rules. And I'm gonna tell you why. But let's first make sure something that our design rules is still applicable, right? So let's go to here. Apply min and max preference. Cool. And the reason is I found this is the reason is basically a Altium bug. This is what one of the video basically told me when I was looking into the problem, what the heck is, why it's happening all the time. So it's just basically someone telling me this is an Altium bug or whatever it is. Because every time I do this, it just gives me this gigantic error, Altium freakout. But there is a way you can get it out. So that's the reason the video is about. It's just giving you a very great overview of the Altium and some of the VIA type and how I can place a VIA, right? Let's learn something if we actually do it. there's some shortcuts. If you click on, if you're in the routing mode, for example, which is Control and W, and if you click on the ground, for example, wait, let's just get rid of this. Okay, I'm gonna just do 25 mils maybe, and wait, I'm gonna do 1 mil for now, just for now, because I don't think I need a lot of things to do. So by the way, before we even do routing, I just forgot to tell you this. Before we even do routing, the one thing I like to do is making some via definition on the layer stack manager. So if you go to the layer stack manager, and if you go to the via types, then now you can see I only have 1 to 4 through holes, but you can add more. You can make like a 1 2 2 for your ground layer, and 1 2 3 for your power layer, and you can add them more if you want. You can also make a micro via, but micro via are in the pain in the neck for me because they are expensive and I don't really need a micro via. I just want to go with the traditional one. But if you're doing a very compact design where the signal integrity is one of the most crucial things to minimize, then definitely go for micro via. No one's gonna stop you, right? But I don't really need it. That's the conclusion, that I don't really need it. So I'm okay. I'm fine. Okay, I'll be fine. So I just closed it because I already have the VI definitions, and now I can go into the routing mode, and I can go and do some routing. So there's some of the shortcuts. So first of all, if I click here on the ground, and if I hold Ctrl and Shift, and then if I roll my master roller, it's going to create a via automatically, and the via is going to be on the bottom layer. Most of the time is a bottom layer. So this is an easy trick that you can route your signal from first layer to the bottom layer by doing this throw hole stuff. And then you have to change some other important configuration here as well, and we can talk about it one day, not today, because there's so many things to talk about. So this is a one trick. You can wheel routing like Ctrl and W, and just click on here, and you can just do Ctrl Shift as a hold. You're gonna hold them, and then you're gonna just roll your mouse so you can go to the bottom layer. What I basically mean is, if you go here, and if I go to, well, I need to find something. I need to find a keyboard with a mouse picture, so that we can just basically show what I'm talking about. By the way, I was kind of looking into some keyboards to buy, basically some cheap keyboard with a nice creamy sounds or whatever, but I don't know if I can able to buy it right now. But what I'm meaning is, like, if I see this cool mechanical keyboard here, you're gonna hold this Ctrl Shift. While you're holding them, you're gonna just like roll this roller up and down based on your preferences. So this is the one trick. This is one crazy trick, and it's very useful. It's very useful. But there's another one which is my favorite, which is my most favorite, and that's it. This is it. If you do Ctrl and W here, and if you click on number 2, see how I just created a via, and it's going to the ground from first layer to the second layer. And then I can do some kind of, if I click on 3, it's gonna, I don't know if you can see it, it's changing the rule maximum user choice, rule minimum. So I can click on rule minimum. Then if I click on 4, it's gonna like tell me that what kind of VSI rule is doing. I'll just go with rule minimum as well. And then 5 is, I don't know what the 5 does, but 6 has some kind of thing you can do. You can go from blind via from 1 to 3. You can do through hole via from 1 to 4. You can do blind from 1 to 2. You can just check this top layer view button, and you can see like how this thing is changing, right? And then 7 is basically, I don't know what the heck the 7 does, but but 8 is basically will specify you if you want to go to the blind 1 to 3. So if I click on blind 1 to 3, and if I click on 2, it's gonna take me to 1 2 3. So there's a lot of things going on, and the general question I always had, that how the hell in the world I will remember this thing? How the hell in the world I will remember that? Easy way, click on tilde, and once you click on tilde, you can see all of the tricks around. So instead of like clicking on tab and configuring them manually, if you click on tilde, it's gonna tell you all of the cool tricks you can follow. So very important, right? And definitely based on what you need, you can just select them. Like for example, when I click on 2, it was adding a via, it was changed writing transition. By the way, writing transition seems a very great one. Yeah, well, there's many more which is very useful, at least for me. You can do select a layer as well, Ctrl and L. Like we click on it, I can just go to the bottom layers and stuff like that. Okay, whatever. Basically there is some of the cool mini tricks about the VS. But one thing I want to tell you, that you see how you're having a problem. But if I like click on here, like for example, if I just Ctrl Shift and go into, for example, this one, okay, I'm not having this problem anymore. This time all of the design rules are being implemented, which is great, which is what I want. Even if I do like Ctrl and W and go down here, if I click on number 2, you see like this time the rules have been applied based on my design rules. So this gigantic stupid via is not here anymore as well, right? I don't know, I feel like this is a kind of like Altium bug, I guess. Every time I define a design rule, it doesn't really work. When I just click on this place a via and click here, it's giving me some making me freaking nuts. Whatever. It's already been 16 minutes and I don't want to talk more. I think this is the end of the video. Have a great day. Next time we'll come up with a VR part 2. We're gonna talk about some more things in a great explanation. And the third video I probably will go to some basics of it. Like view some math, some physics probably. Okay, cool. Shut my mouth. See you guys in the next video.